Hi guys. Okay, I can't even believe I'm actually saying this, but in 4 days, I'm going to be 500 days sober. Can you see that? Yeah. Insane. So I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about it and talk about my experience being sober, how my life has changed, and everything in between. 500 days is fucking crazy. I don't really check the days that often anymore. I definitely used to in the beginning, but this is just my life now, so I don't really look at it. But I do want to acknowledge that 500 days is kind of nuts, and kind of celebrate this milestone with this video. Initially, I set out to be sober just for 1 year. Obviously, I have surpassed that because it has been one of the best decisions I have ever made for myself in my adult years. That is not even an exaggeration. So let me just try to get comfortable. I do want to preface this video with 2 things. I am not preaching anybody to be sober. I am not trying to, shame anybody out of drinking or out of partying or doing drugs. I used to do all of those things, and I totally understand that this is not a journey that everybody needs. This is just something that I decided to do and have had a really great experience. I just wanted to preface that because I don't want anyone to think that I care what they do. I really don't. All of my friends drink and party, and I hang out with them while they do it. So this video is not that. This video is just me being hey, I changed my life and it was kind of fucking sick, so here's what happened. The second thing I want to share is I did not struggle with addiction issues. I never went to rehab, and I have never attended an AA meeting. I just get DMs and questions about that sometimes. I didn't actually even think to have to clarify that, but I do get questions about it. So with that being said, I just went sober for a lifestyle change. So for most things, obviously, there's typically a catalyst about why we change our life or why we embark on these difficult journeys. I had actually been sober curious for a few years. It was something I'd always thought about, and I had done sober months, dry January, no drink November. I had done 75 hard, but I always just jumped right back into it. And I guess for me to explain myself a little bit for you guys to understand me better is I am someone that I kind of need to always be working towards something. I like to have hobbies. I like to be busy. I like to hold myself to a high standard, and it's very important that I think of myself positively, and I'm a good person. At the time of me about to be 28, this was a time in my life where I had, for the last couple years, had really let go of all my personal goals, ambitions, hobbies. I kind of had just dedicated my life to working during the week and then hanging out with my friends and partying every weekend, which is honestly kind of the societal norms of drinking culture, especially in America. And over time, this lifestyle just took a toll on me. I have a photo of myself that I was kind of debating sharing on the internet just because I find it really sad, honestly. But the reason why I think I am gonna share it is because I want you guys to really picture what someone unhappy looks like and someone that is happy looks like. So essentially, or not someone, me. This is what I look like unhappy and what I look like happy. So this is the picture of me that I took of myself, I think at the beginning of the year before I went sober. As you can see, I look unrecognizable. I look at that person and I literally don't even recognize her. And obviously, besides my physical differences in appearance, that person and who I was, I don't even recognize. I was so sad. I had really low self-esteem. I had no sense of routine, in my life. I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't working out consistently. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't like putting love into myself at all. And I feel like this photo just like is a visual representation of like how I had just really let myself go, but also like I just remember how I felt about myself in that moment, and it was like so sad. Like I never want to be that person again. And the catalyst of why I went sober was because at the time my little brother was about to go to the Navy and go through boot camp, okay? Boot camp is so fucking hard. It's like you're screamed at, you're sleep deprived, like purposefully they sleep deprive you as like punishment, and like you're doing insane workouts every day. People are screaming at you, like you have to do tests and things like that. And he was about to do that. And we had a phone call like a week or two before my birthday. And I wanted to talk to him before he left. And I was telling him how I really wanted to do sobriety for 1 year. And he asked me why. And I essentially started crying on the phone to him, just telling him how much I hated myself and like how unhappy I was with who I am. It's like really fucking sad. And he was like, well, why don't you just be sober then? And I remember at the time thinking like, I don't think I can. Like being sober for a year sounds fucking nuts. Like it sounds crazy to someone that like is so used to like drinking and having that in their lifestyle. But to me, it was like, because I realized that I thought I could not do it, made me be like, okay, I really have to do this. I really have to do this sobriety thing. Like, this is really important for me. And it wasn't that, like, I needed to be sober because, like, I couldn't stop drinking or because I was, like, addicted to alcohol or anything like that. It was, like, the lifestyle of drinking and socially drinking and, like, the eating and the ordering out and the sleeping in and the all those things and whatever. Like it had taken such a toll on me that I was like, this lifestyle is just like not for me. So when I made that decision, I did two things. I think two things. One thing, I wrote down a list of goals that I wanted to accomplish within the year of being sober. And all of those things were different. It was like, buy a car, get a new job, work on myself, get into like peak fitness, love myself, build my self-esteem back up, like all things like that. Like they were kind of all different. And the second thing that I did was I made a point to tell everybody significant in my life. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go sober for a year. It's really important to me that I do this. I feel like I made a point of telling everybody in my life that I was gonna be sober and that it was really fucking important to me, because I needed to hold myself to a standard of, oh shit, okay, this is an expectation I am setting for myself, but now everybody else has set this expectation for me also. And I hate disappointing people. So I knew that by telling everybody, I had to do it. So with that being said, that is why I went sober. Now, in the rest of the days leading up to my 500 days, I'm going to film a little bit every day, and I'm going to break down different things. So, how my life changed mentally, how I changed physically, which is a really big one that I know a lot of people are curious about, emotionally, and then socially. Hi guys, I just pulled up to work, but I have like 15 minutes before I have to start, so I figured I would talk about the next phase, which is I wanted to talk about some of the improvements I saw in myself mentally and emotionally, because those were really huge for me. And honestly, like, those were two parts of me that I really wanted to change, like, in this journey of doing sobriety, because there was like a couple things I was dealing with on a regular basis. Anxiety, like chest heaviness regularly. I was having really bad sleep problems. Like for a really long time, I remember I was having this kind of anxiety where I would get sleep paranoia, where I would be like afraid to fall asleep because for whatever reason I thought my heart was going to stop and I was going to die in my sleep. Like I genuinely was having those thoughts like almost every night, which was so awful. Obviously everybody feels differently after they drink. Not everybody will experience these things, but these were just a couple of things that I was having major issues with and that I wanted to change. And now, like 500 days later, I can say that I have not once had anxiety at all, which is fucking crazy for someone that was like experiencing it so regularly. Like, I just haven't had anxiety ever since. I also started having what I would explain as extreme mental clarity. So because you're never hungover and you're never tired, you just wake up every day feeling sharp. Like, you never waste a day. You never spend a day in bed, like ordering takeout and gross food to make you feel worse. Like, you never are overthinking what you did the night before. You don't really have like overthinking or anxiety thoughts, because in every social situation, like, you're pretty much just always yourself and you remember everything. You respond to people just like how you would normally. Like, all of those things just go out the window, which is fucking amazing. And the mental clarity and the never wasting a day is honestly something that I can't give up now. I can't go back to not having those things because I just value them so much and I just feel sharper as a person. Emotionally, obviously, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, like, I was very insecure and I had really bad and low self-esteem. Now I can say I have like extremely high self-esteem and high self-worth and like self-respect that I didn't have before. And I feel like those kind of just go hand in hand with working on yourself. Like, when you put so much time into bettering yourself and trying to be better and improve and grow as a person, the time that you put into yourself just makes you respect yourself so much more. Definitely just more than I had prior, which is really nice because I just feel more mature and like I've grown as a person. I also think that like I am so much more emotionally available than I ever was before. And what I mean by emotionally available is I'm able to be emotional support for a lot of people in my life, whether that's like my family, my friendships, my relationship. That is also something that I find really valuable because I felt like when you're drinking and you have anxiety and you're almost constantly in a crisis, like every weekend or every Monday or something, trying to recover, you just don't really have time to give, or like the mental capacity to give to anybody else but yourself. At least like I didn't at the time. So with that being said, I have to go into work because my coworkers keep walking past me and they're probably like, what the fuck is she doing? But with that being said, like, the emotional growth and the mental clarity and the mental growth and the mental stability I have is just something that like has improved so significantly, and it improved in a really short amount of time. So I just can't give those up. It is Saturday. I woke up early this morning and I went to a solid core class. I just got back and I'm about to go for a 4-mile run, maybe 3 miles. I'm going to Dala tonight and I don't want to be super exhausted, but I like really am in the mood to have a really good workout today. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for a run after this, and then when I get back, I'll get ready to leave. But I thought that this would be a good opportunity to talk about some of the physical improvements I saw in myself after cutting out alcohol. This is the really fun part. Obviously, the emotional and mental improvements are amazing. There's no denying it. But the physical improvements are just like a fun addition that comes along with cutting out alcohol and partying. So I wrote down a list of everything so I didn't forget. If you guys remember my beginning photo, obviously, you can tell from that photo, I'm just generally out of shape. I was not working out consistently. I was really bloated and carrying a lot of fat in my face, or just like bloating in my face, and overall bloated and inflamed. So once I quit drinking, I would say for the first 4 months, I really dove into fitness and health, because you're not going out and partying socially, and to fill my time, I just started working out a bunch. Like, I was working out every day without a doubt for an hour to an hour and a half. it's just something I was really enjoying. Also, it just made me feel good, gives you endorphins, all that kind of thing. So I really dove into fitness. I think that's really common also with a lot of people that end up going sober. But within 3 to 4 months, I remember everybody in my life was like, holy shit, Tara, like, you look amazing. What changed? And when I would tell them, I was like, oh, I like quit drinking. They were all like, oh, like, it makes such an insane visible difference in your appearance that I think a lot of people don't even realize it. Like, I didn't expect to look so differently after cutting out alcohol. So anyways, with all that being said, here are the things that I noticed right away. Within the first month, I would say my face, like my skin in my face overall had this radiant glow. I'm not inflamed or bloated or like breaking out from drinking. I also am like getting proper good sleep. I'm working out, I'm drinking water, I'm eating healthy. So within the first month, I just found that my skin had a radiant glow. Also, I remember in the first 3 months, I noticed that my eyes seemed like they became bluer. They just were clear. I don't know how to explain it, but my eyes were like very vibrant and clear and blue. My face thinned out so much from when I cut out alcohol. I've always kind of had like a pretty like fuller face, I would say, like baby fat maybe in my face. And once I quit drinking and became stricter with my diet, like no gluten or refined sugar, my cheekbones are so sharp, my jawline is sharper. I lost this pouch under my chin that I used to always have. Like, my face just became really tight and thin. It thinned out extremely from quitting alcohol, which I did not know that was going to happen, but I really like it, so slay. My overall body composition also has completely changed since cutting out alcohol. I am able to get leaner than I ever have been able to achieve ever in my life. Because when I would work out before, it was like, yes, I'm working out and eating healthy, but on the weekends, I was consuming alcohol and junk food when I was hungover, and all of that combined, I just feel like I was never able to become as lean as I can now. Also, all of the workouts that I do now have such a faster effect on my body than I did when I was drinking. In the first like 2-3 months, I just overall like really lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of bloating. I lost a lot of inflammation. I just was also working out a lot, so I was burning a lot of fat and building muscle. So this allowed me, without drinking, this allowed me to like really lean out and become the most lean I've ever been. Like at month 6, I had a fucking 6-pack, like lean as fuck, which is crazy. Like, I've never been able to be that lean before. So that was just really cool, because one of my goals for the whole journey was to achieve like my peak fitness, and I definitely did that. When you quit drinking, you're never hungover, so you literally never waste a day. I think I've said that before earlier in this video. It's just something that I cannot tell you enough, is like, you never waste a day. When you quit drinking, like, you're never gonna be hungover, you're never gonna be too tired to work out, you're gonna wake up feeling good and ready for every day. So like, you're gonna spend your time wisely and just do things that make you feel good. Also, working out does boost a lot of endorphins and it makes you fucking happy. So that is something that I think I really dove into, because I really liked feeling that way from working out. With all of that being said, like, my self-esteem and my confidence skyrocketed within the first 4 months. Like, within 4 months, I was a completely different person, inside and out, because I felt really good on the inside. I was emotionally secure, emotionally stable, mentally clear, and then I just like felt so confident in my body, in my face, like the way I looked. Like, I was putting so much love and effort into myself that I was beaming, like literally beaming happiness and confidence. And just like, I found that it was infectious. Like, so many people would come up to me and be like, oh my God, what has changed? And I was so happy to always tell people about my lifestyle change and like how much it improved, because I loved talking about it because it was so exciting to see how quickly everything changed and improved for me. So I like love talking about it. Like even like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go on a run right now because I have to come home and get ready because like I said, I'm going to Dom Dalla, which I'm so excited for. But yeah, the last portion of this video is just the social portion. So I'm gonna do that later. But yeah, the physical improvements, those have to be like one of the best parts. It is Sunday. It is 3 p.m. I woke up at 9. I went out to Dom Dalla last night. I had so much fun. I've basically been laying in bed all day because I danced the entire night last night. Dom Dalla's show, that was like the best show I've ever seen him do. And now I just really wanted to close out this video with my final portion, which is how my life has changed socially since I quit drinking. This is one of the things that I do get a lot of questions about, because there is like a general idea that if you quit drinking, you're just not gonna have as much fun when you're out, which I can say is not true. However, I do think that it depends from person to person, because everybody socializes differently, and what people enjoy while drinking might not be what people enjoy once they quit drinking. I can only give my personal experience about how my life has changed socially. And to be honest, my life has improved socially since I stopped drinking because I have so many better conversations with people when I'm out, when I'm sober, rather than when I was drunk. So like when I would go out and I would drink, yes, I would be talking to people, and yes, I would make new friends, and I would meet new people. But like, were those always interesting conversations? No. Would I remember the conversations always the next day? No. Would I actually make a genuine new friendship with all the people that I met on a night out when I was drunk? No. Like sometimes when I was drunk, I would just talk to fucking random people and we would be best friends for the night, and then I would never see them again. So now that I go out and I don't drink, it's like, if I'm having a conversation with someone, we're actually having a conversation of depth, and I'm really getting to know them, and we're finding common interests, and I'm enjoying each conversation that I'm having, and I'm going to remember every single one of them. Something that changes about going out when you're sober is that every single time you go out when you're sober, you're always gonna show up 100% yourself. You're never gonna wake up the next day and be like, oh my God, why did I do that? You're never gonna have anxiety. You're never gonna act like a fool and be embarrassed. Like, it just doesn't happen because you're just always yourself, which is really fucking nice because I hated having anxiety. I will say, in the first couple of months of me not drinking, I did not really go out not because I didn't think they wouldn't be fun. It was because I was not interested in socializing that way at that time. I was more focused on myself and doing self-development things, working out a lot, getting a lot of sleep, etc. But over time, I obviously realized that I can't not go out forever. I still had to make myself go out and push myself to go out because I have to relearn what these events and social experiences are like without alcohol. Because when you start going out not drinking, it's a whole new world of going out. It's pretty jarring, and it's honestly fascinating. Like, people watching is really fun. You're more in tune with how you feel and all your thoughts, and good conversations will come, good conversations will flow. Like, I wouldn't really stress about it that much. I had so much fun at Dom Dalla last night. Oh my God, I had the best time. I went to the pregame, didn't drink, hung out with everybody. I was just vibing. And then we took a party bus to Dom Dalla, and I was sitting next to this girl and her boyfriend that I had never met before. So I struck up a conversation with her, and we ended up having all these things in common interests. We had worked with a couple of the same people in the past, and that was really amazing because I took the time to like introduce myself and ask her about herself and her boyfriend and where they're from. And then over the entire night, that just developed into now like a new friend. So then I went to Damdala, the show started, I danced all night with my friends. They were drinking. I drink Red Bulls, preferably when I'm out. And I have a fucking blast. Like, I've done it for so long now that I think I'm just kind of used to it. I do understand that like it can be really fucking hard for some people, but you honestly just have, if you're ever uncomfortable when you're out and you think that you want to drink, you just have to sit through it and let the feeling pass, and it does pass. When I go out and I'm around my friends when they're drunk and they're partying, I feed off of their energy and I feel just as excited and happy and energetic as them. It's just like a weird way of how it works. I think that I just overall have really improved a lot of the relationships with friends that I've already had, and I've made so many new friends in the last year outside of drinking. Like, I don't need to be drunk to do that. The good thing is that you actually learn what you enjoy without drinking, because also another thing that I was experiencing when I still drank is that I would go to parties and drink to make them fun, and they were not fun without drinking. So like, why would you want to be at a party that's not actually fun unless you were drunk? You just want to be at a party that's fun in general. You do not need to be drunk to have a good time. Okay, I'm back. My camera died and the lighting changed, so I'm over here. But I really need to close out this video because I've kind of been filming it for 2 weeks now, and I really just need it to be over. That is my 500 days no alcohol transformation. I can say that, again, this has been the most incredible experience that I have ever given to myself. And at the beginning of this journey, I remember I just wanted to see how much my life would change within a year. And now that it's been a year and a quarter, I can say like my life has changed so much for the better. I could not recommend this more to anybody that's interested in it. So at the beginning of this journey, I wrote down all these goals that I wanted to achieve, and I did them all within 4 months. Like, I reached my peak fitness. I became so extremely happy. I bought a new car. I got a job that I fucking love, and I love everybody that I work with. I'm so fulfilled socially in my relationships. Like, everybody in my life like deserves to be there, and I love them, and I love myself, and I just like love this life I've created for myself. And I feel like it just was better than I ever could have imagined. Like, I could have never imagined my life to be this way. Again, like, not trying to like push sobriety on anyone. Like, you do whatever makes you feel good. Everybody is different. This is just something that I did that makes me feel so amazing and so good and so fulfilled. Like, I just enjoy my life this way. And will my sobriety remain the same forever? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I can hands down say I am so positive I will never drink alcohol ever again. I just have no urge, no interest in drinking alcohol ever again. I really just don't. One thing in my sobriety that has changed is that I have microdosed shrooms, and I think that that is something that, first of all, it's like so seldom and only for special occasions, like a Coachella or a festival or something like that. But apart from that, like, I just really don't ever see myself drinking ever again. I don't know, I just hope that this video was informative and good information to anybody that was really curious about it, because I know I was sober curious for so long, and I hadn't actually met any young people that were sober until I moved to LA. Like, there is a very big sober culture in LA, which I'm really grateful and lucky for, because I know not all places are like that. And so that like opened my eyes to being like, okay, this is possible. And I'm sitting in front of you guys like telling you that it is possible. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy that I gave myself the opportunity to experience this And I hope you guys liked this video, but yeah, I'm gonna edit this and get this up for you guys. And I hope you liked it. So who would have thought?